Qualification session is at Donington Park in Donington, Great Britain. The wind speed is 11 km/h from the north-northeast. Juan Pablo Aristizabal from Colombia in Wheatcroft Strait is P1. Jean-Pierre Perrin from Colombia in Wheatcroft Strait is P8. J.Enriquez from Colombia in Starkey Strait is 4th. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Wheatcroft Strait is P10. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 14.03 in Starkey's Brigade. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 13.88 in Fogarty Essees. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is first up 18.26. Juan Martin Botero is up 0.02 in Craner curves. Juan Martin Acuna from Colombia in Hollywood is P11 up 0.44. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is 9th up 0.48. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is up 2.83 in Melbourne Hairpin. J.Enriquez in Goddard's is 6th. J.Enriquez improved his P2 with a 1:19.231. 0.200 off pole. Santiago Idarraga from Spain in Melbourne Hairpin is P11 up 0.43. Minutes remaining in the session. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Starkey's Straight is 7th up 0.18. Juan Martin Botero is P1 up 0.11. Juan Martin Acuna is 5th up 0.68. Juan Martin Botero is provisional pole with a 1:18.968. J.Enriquez in Wheatcroft Straight is P2. J.Enriquez is provisional pole with a 1:18.558. Juan Carlos Guerin from Colombia in Wheatcroft Straight is P4. Juan Carlos Guerin improved is P3 with a 1:19.030. .472 off pole. Santiago Idarraga in Gaudets is 8th. Santiago Idarraga improved is 5th with a 1:19.228. .670 off pole. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Starkey's Straight is P8 up 0.47. Jean-Pierre Ferrand in Coppice is P2 up 0.10. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Gaudets is 8th. Juan Carlos Guerin in Melbourne Hairpin is 4th up 0.76. Juan Carlos Guerin is provisional pole with a 1:18.202. Jean-Pierre Ferrand in Wheatcroft Straight is P3. Carlos Huertas from Colombia in Melbourne Hairpin is P9 up 0.37. Carlos Huertas improved is P9 with a 1:20.684. 2.482 off pole. Jean-Pierre Ferrand is 3rd up 0.11. Juan Martin Acuna in Melbourne Hairpin is 7th up 0.14. Jose Miguel Moncada from Colombia is P10 up 0.35. Jose Miguel Moncada improved his 10th with a 1:22.043. 3.841 off pole. Carlos Huertas in Gaudets is P9. Carlos Huertas is up 0.19 in Craner curves. Santiago Idarraga is 6th up 0.22. Carlos Huertas is P9 up 0.34. Best lap is a 1:20.684. 2.482 off pole. Santiago Idarraga from Spain in Starkey's Straight is 6th up 0.15. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Santiago Idarraga improved is P6 with a 119.191. 0.989 off pole. Andres Camilo Cardona from Colombia in Redgate is 5th. J.Enriquez in McLean's is P2 up 0.18. Juan Martin Botero in Coppice is P4 up 0.16. J.Enriquez is 2nd up 0.21. J.Enriquez improved his 2nd with a 118.453. 0.251 off pole. Carlos Huertas is 9th up 0.12. Jose Miguel Moncada in Starkey's Straight is 10th up 0.39. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Wheatcroft Straight is P8. Juan Pablo Aristizabal improved his 8th with a 119.843. 1.641 off pole. Jose Miguel Moncada is P10. Jose Miguel Moncada is up 0.55 in McLean's. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Starkey's Straight is 8th up 0.23. Juan Pablo Aristizabal improved his 8th with a 119.750. 1.548 off pole. Jose Miguel Moncada in Wheatcroft Straight is 10th. Jose Miguel Moncada improved his P10 with a 121.447. 3.245 off pole. Jose Miguel Moncada is up 0.05 in Old Hairpin. Jose Miguel Moncada is up 0.38 in Starkey's Straight. Jose Miguel Moncada improved his 10th with a 121.157. 2.955 off pole. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Juan Martin Botero is P4. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia is P11 up 0.91. Leonardo Bustamante is up 1.07 in Melbourne hairpin. Leonardo Bustamante improved his P9 with a 120.139. 1.937 off pole. Juan Martin Botero in Starkey's Straight is P4 up 0.11. Santiago Idarraga in Hollywood is 6th up 0.18. Leonardo Bustamante is P9 up 0.33. Leonardo Bustamante is up 0.56 in Melbourne hairpin. Leonardo Bustamante improved his 7th with a 119.528. 1.326 off pole. Leonardo Bustamante is up 0.35 in Hollywood. Leonardo Bustamante is up 0.17 in Coppice. Carlos Huertas in Craner Curves is 10th up 0.35. Carlos Huertas is up 0.49 in Coppice. Leonardo Bustamante is P7 up 0.23. Juan Martin Botero in Redgate is 4th. Best lap is a 118.968. 0.766 off pole. Leonardo Bustamante in Melbourne hairpin is P7 up 0.15. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Leonardo Bustamante improved his 7th with a 119.497. 1.295 off pole. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia in Starkey's Straight is 4th up 0.10. Andres Camilo Cardona is 5th. Best lap is a 1:19.136. .934 off pole. Juan Carlos Guerin in Starkey's Straight is P1. Best lap is a 1:18.202. Andres Camilo Cardona is 5th. The race session is at Donington Park in Donington, Great Britain. The wind speed is 12 km/h from the northeast. Director entering the pits is 16th. Juan Carlos Guerin is 1st. Race start. Juan Carlos Guerin is P1. J.Enriquez from Colombia is 3rd. Juan Martin Botero from Colombia is P3. Leonardo Bustamante from Colombia is 4th. Santiago Idarraga from Spain in Starkey's Strait is 7th. Juan Pablo Aristizabal from Colombia in Melbourne Hairpin is 5th. Santiago Idarraga in Wheatcroft Strait is 7th. Andres Camilo Cardona entering the pits is P10. Santiago Idarraga is now 6th. Andres Camilo Cardona exiting pits. Juan Martin Botero in Schwantz curve is 3rd, 0.5 behind J.Enriquez. Leonardo Bustamante on lap 2 is 4th, 0.9 behind Juan Martin Botero. Juan Carlos Guarin from Colombia on lap 2 is P10, 0.4 behind Camilo Gomez. Juan Carlos Guarin passed Camilo Gomez for 9th. Leonardo Bustamante in Redgate is P4, 0.3 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez is P3, 0.5 behind Juan Martin Botero. J.Enriquez lost P5 to Santiago Idarraga. J.Enriquez lost 6th to Carlos Huertas. Leonardo Bustamante in Fogarty Esses on lap 3 is P3, 0.3 ahead of Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Leonardo Bustamante lost P3 to Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Santiago Idarraga is 5th. Carlos Huertas from Colombia is P7, 1.0 behind J.Enriquez. Santiago Idarraga is P5, 0.2 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Andres Camilo Cardona from Colombia in Coppice is P11, 0.9 behind Camilo Gomez. Andres Camilo Cardona was 6.3 faster last lap. Santiago Idarraga in Goddess is P5, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Carlos Guerin on lap 5 is 9, 4.4 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Santiago Idarraga is P5, 0.8 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Carlos Guerin is 9. Santiago Idarraga is P5, 1.1 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Carlos Guerin in Starkey's Straight is 9th, 0.8 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Juan Carlos Guerin was 2.7 faster last lap. Juan Carlos Guerin passed Jose Miguel Moncada for P8. Santiago Idarraga is 5th, 0.6 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Andres Camilo Cardona is P10. Best lap is a 1:19.848. 0.211 off the fastest lap. J.Enriquez on lap 7 is P6, 0.2 behind Santiago Idarraga. J.Enriquez passed Santiago Idarraga for P5. Santiago Idarraga is 6th, 0.2 behind J.Enriquez. Jose Miguel Moncada from Colombia in Wheatcroft Straight is P10, 1.2 behind Andres Camilo Cardona. Carlos Huertas in Coppice is P7. Juan Carlos Guerin on lap 8 is P8, 1.0 behind Carlos Huertas. J.Enriquez from Colombia is 5th, 1.1 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Carlos Guerin in Starkey Straight is 8th, 0.6 behind Carlos Huertas. Leonardo Bustamante is 5th, 0.2 behind J.Enriquez. Carlos Huertas in Gaudens is 8th, 0.2 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Juan Carlos Guerin was 5.0 faster last lap. Carlos Huertas passed Juan Carlos Guerin for P7. Carlos Huertas lost P7 to Juan Carlos Guerin. Leonardo Bustamante in Coppice is P5, 0.9 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez was 2.1 faster last lap. Carlos Huertas in Fogarty Esses is 8th, 0.9 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Bustamante in Old Hairpin is P5, 0.8 behind J.Enriquez. Juan Martin Botero is 3rd, 0.9 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Carlos Huertas in Fogarty Esses is 8th, 2.0 ahead of Andres Camilo Cardona. Carlos Huertas lost P8 to Andres Camilo Cardona. Camilo Gomez entering the pits is 11th. Leonardo Bustamante is 5th, 0.5 behind J.Enriquez. Camilo Gomez exiting pits. Juan Martin Botero in Starkey Straight is P3, 0.9 behind Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Leonardo Bustamante in Melbourne Hairpin is 5th, 0.5 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in Wheatcroft Straight is 5th. J.Enriquez entering the pits is P5. J.Enriquez exiting pits. J.Enriquez lost 5th to Santiago Idarraga. Carlos Huertas is P10, 0.2 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Jose Miguel Moncada in Trainer Curves is P9, 0.7 ahead of Carlos Huertas. Juan Martin Acuna entering the pits is 12. Carlos Huertas in Schwantz Curve is 10, 0.3 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Camilo Gomez from Colombia is P11. Carlos Huertas in Goddards is P10, 0.5 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Carlos Huertas was 0.9 faster last lap. Camilo Gomez in Hollywood is 11. Juan Pablo Aristizabal in Trainer Curves is P2, 4.3 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Juan Pablo Aristizabal was 1.1 faster last lap. Carlos Huertas is 10, 0.7 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is P2, 3.6 ahead of Juan Martin Botero. Carlos Huertas from Colombia is P10, 0.5 behind Jose Miguel Moncada. Jose Miguel Moncada from Colombia in Melbourne hairpin is P9, 0.7 ahead of Carlos Huertas. Jose Miguel Moncada entering the pits is P9. Carlos Huertas entering the pits is 10. J.Enriquez in Starkey's straight is 6th, 2.4 behind Santiago Idarraga. Camilo Gomez entering the pits is 11th. Jose Miguel Moncada on lap 16 is P9. Jose Miguel Moncada exiting pits. J.Enriquez entering the pits is 6th. J.Enriquez is P6. Juan Carlos Guillorin in wheat drop straight is 7th. Camilo Gomez exiting pits. Juan Carlos Guillorin passed J.Enriquez for 6th. Carlos Huertas exiting pits. J.Enriquez is P8. J.Enriquez exiting pits. Juan Carlos Guillorin in Starkey's straight on lap 17 is 6th, 5.0 ahead of Andres Camilo Cardona. Juan Pablo Aristizabal entering the pits is P2. Juan Pablo Aristizabal is 2nd. Juan Martin Botero entering the pits is P3. J.Enriquez in Starkey's straight on lap 17 is 8th. Santiago Idarraga entering the pits is 5th. Juan Martin Botero is P5. Juan Pablo Aristizabal exiting pits. Andres Camilo Cardona entering the pits is 7th. Juan Martin Botero exiting pits. Santiago Idarraga is 6th. Santiago Idarraga exiting pits. Andres Camilo Cardona is 8th. Andres Camilo Cardona exiting pits. Jean-Pierre Ferrand entering the pits is P1. Jean-Pierre Ferrand is P1. Carlos Huertas from Colombia is P10. Leonardo Bustamante entering the pits is 2nd. Jean-Pierre Ferrand from Colombia is 1st. Jean-Pierre Ferrand exiting pits. Leonardo Bustamante is P3, 1.6 ahead of Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Leonardo Bustamante exiting pits. Leonardo Bustamante lost P3 to Juan Pablo Aristizabal. Leonardo Bustamante lost 4th to Juan Martin Botero. Camilo Gomez is P11. Best lap is a 1:25.249. 5.860 off the fastest lap. J.Enriquez in Starkey's straight is P6, 0.9 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Juan Carlos Guerin entering the pits is P2. Juan Carlos Guerin is P2. J.Enriquez in Melbourne hairpin is 6th, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Santiago Idarraga in wheat crop straight is P7. Santiago Idarraga is now P6. Juan Carlos Guerin exiting pits. J.Enriquez is P5. Best lap is a 1:19.472. 0.083 off the fastest lap. Santiago Idarraga in Coppice is P6, 0.5 behind J.Enriquez. Andres Camilo Cardona in Coppice is P8, 0.4 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Camilo Gomez in Starkey's Straight is P11, 0.5 behind Carlos Huertas. J.Enriquez is P5, 0.9 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Andres Camilo Cardona is 8th, 1.0 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Andres Camilo Cardona was 16.2 faster last lap. Santiago Idarraga in wheat crop straight is 6th. Best lap is a 1:20.386. 0.997 off the fastest lap. Andres Camilo Cardona in wheat crop straight is P8, 0.4 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Gomez from Colombia is 11th. J.Enriquez from Colombia is 5th, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Andres Camilo Cardona in Gaudets is 8th, 0.8 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Enriquez is P5, 0.7 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Santiago Idarraga is 6th, 1.1 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in Redgate is 5th, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Andres Camilo Cardona on lap 24 is 8th, 0.9 behind Juan Carlos Guarin. J.Enriquez in Melbourne hairpin is 5th, 0.5 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Santiago Idarraga in Hollywood is P6, 0.7 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez in Starkey Strait is P5, 0.5 ahead of Santiago Idarraga. Santiago Idarraga was 1.2 faster last lap. Santiago Idarraga is P6, 0.5 behind J.Enriquez. Andres Camilo Cardona in Leapcroft Strait is 8th, 0.8 behind Juan Carlos Guarin. Santiago Idarraga is 6th, 0.4 behind J.Enriquez. J.Enriquez is P5, 0.6 behind Leonardo Bustamante. Santiago Idarraga in Leapcroft Strait is 6th, 0.6 behind J.Enriquez. Santiago Idarraga was 0.7 faster last lap. J.Enriquez is P5, 0.5 ahead of Santiago Idarraga. Santiago Idarraga is P6. Best lap is a 1:19.873. 0.874 off the fastest lap. J.Enriquez in Gaudens is 5th, 0.1 behind Leonardo Bustamante. J.Enriquez passed Leonardo Bustamante for 4th. Leonardo Bustamante in Redgate is 5th, 0.2 ahead of Santiago Idarraga. Santiago Idarraga on lap 28 is P6, 1.4 ahead of Juan Carlos Guerin. Santiago Idarraga lost P7 to Andres Camilo Cardona. Andres Camilo Cardona in Schwantz curve is 7th, 0.5 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Santiago Idarraga is P8, 1.1 behind Andres Camilo Cardona. Andres Camilo Cardona in Gaudens is P7, 0.5 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Juan Martin Botero in Starkey's Straight on lap 29 is P3. Andres Camilo Cardona in Coppice is P7, 0.5 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Santiago Idarraga is P8, 2.7 behind Andres Camilo Cardona. Andres Camilo Cardona from Colombia in Redgate is 7th, 0.4 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Carlos Huertas in Wheat Cross Straight on lap 28 is P10. Andres Camilo Cardona in Fogar de Eses is P7, 0.4 behind Juan Carlos Guerin. Andres Camilo Cardona passed Juan Carlos Guerin for P6. Juan Carlos Guerin is P7, 0.5 behind Andres Camilo Cardona. Miguel Moncada in Hollywood is 9. Best lap is a 1:22.519. 3.520 off the fastest lap. Juan Carlos Guerin in McLean's is P7, 0.3 behind Andres Camilo Cardona. Jose Miguel Moncada is P9. Juan Carlos Guerin in Wheatcroft Straight is 7th, 1.0 behind Andres Camilo Cardona. Juan Carlos Guerin lost P7 to Santiago Idarraga. The leader has just finished the race. Jean-Pierre Perrin finished P1. Carlos Huertas finished 10th. Juan Pablo Aristizabal finished P2. Juan Martin Botero finished 3rd. J.Enriquez finished P4. Leonardo Bustamante finished P5. Andres Camilo Cardona finished P6. Juan Carlos Guerin finished P7. Santiago Idarraga finished 8th. Jose Miguel Moncada finished P9. Camilo Gomez is P11. Camilo Gomez finished P11.